Welcome ladies and gents to another hobby desk, and today we're doing another review. So we've done a chipping medium in the past, we've done Master's brush cleaner, a few other different products, but today we're working with the Green Stuff World rollers. So greenstuffworld.com is a wonderful site, and you can get loads of interesting products from tentacle rollers to leaf stampers to make your own leaves for bases. They've got wonderful things on there. They've got some nice bases you can buy yourself. You've got bullets and ammunition and things like that you can add to your bases. Lovely skulls, things like that. But these rollers look awesome. So we have got dark runes, we have small cobblestones and small bricks. And by rollers, what I mean is rolling pins, so you can roll out pastry. I suppose you could, but look at that detail. You think initially it's just little squares, random patterns, but if you look very closely, if the camera picks it up, you can see each one is textured. So the idea of these are you put green stuff on your bases and you just roll them along. How simple is that? So I'll do a few bases. So I've got a couple of very old square bases because I don't use square bases anymore. I'm not getting into that argument why I don't use square bases, but I just don't use square bases anymore. And the set comes with rolling rings. What are rolling rings, I hear you ask? Oh, rolling rings. There you go. These rolling rings are designed so you can apply even pressure on each side of your base. So you put it on the edges of your rollers. Nice and simple, because they are rubber, they will stretch over, so it's a nice comfortable fit. Because you don't want an uneven base, do you? Well, sometimes you might want to, but if you put way too much green stuff on and you decide to do it like that, your base will be uneven. I know that's an exaggeration. That's how you want to roll it, but if you want a nice even base, you add the rubber rings to go on either side. So without further ado, I will mix up some green stuff, so I keep them separately. And everyone probably knows at this stage how to mix up green stuff. So you've got your blue, and you've got your, if it comes out of the container, your yellow. So the approximate same measure, and you mix it up, roll it together, make some sausages like that, stretch it out, mix it around until you get a nice even green colour, hence green stuff. So you don't want to see me mix this for the next few minutes, so I will do this off camera so it's nice and even, and we'll apply it to the base. Okay, so once you've got the green stuff on the base and it's relatively level, you want to get smooth. So I have a little bottle here of water, just regular water, apply a little bit and just rub it with my finger until it's relatively smooth. So the only details that should be on this base are given by the roller. On the destructions on the packet, textured rolling pins capable of imprinting a continuous repeating pattern on clay and putties. Yes, we're using green stuff. That is a putty. Use Vaseline, water, talcum powder or nothing to avoid sticking. Okay, so I'm going to try one with a nothing and see how it goes. Just making sure the base does not move as you go. Keep it relatively. Now we will see straight away nothing probably isn't the best effect, as it's tearing already. So we'll try again with some talcum powder. Okay, so try number 2. We're trying it with talcum powder this time. So I've got a little dusting of talcum powder on the rolling pin. So nothing too heavy. With talcum powder, give it a little bit of a wiggle. It's definite improvement, definite improvement. So, yep, I would say it's probably got about 95% of all the detail on there, so you can see the little wrinkles on the cobbles, the little chips. So although it does say nothing, which is a bit weird, it lists a load of things you can use. So Vaseline, water, talcum powder, or nothing. Well, why would you list that if you put or nothing? I think nothing works if you're going nice and gentle and just want to make a little bit of an impression. But the cobbles are quite deep and there are a lot of cracks to it because they're quite uneven. So I would say, this is only my second attempt, talcum powder's a hit. Water probably would be a bit too sticky, whereas Vaseline, it doesn't make the green stuff itself sticky, it is sticky in itself. So the only thing it's going to stick to is the Vaseline, whereas the water would make the green stuff sticky, and that might tear it off. So I'm going to say Vaseline's a pretty good hit. Not Vaseline, sorry, talcum powder. I only used a small dusting, so maybe in future I might go a bit heavier. And it's easy to clean off the roller with a brush. So that is the small brick, so that's like brick style cobbles. And now I'll clean this one off, and then we can attack the other base with the regular old cobbles. And we'll go straight with the talcum powder on that one and see what that looks like. So this is about the right amount of green stuff you would probably want to use on the old 25mm like inch style bases. Approximately what you want to use. So you want to put it on fairly evenly. Like I said, the roller will work out and push and distribute the green stuff on the lower sections because it's like a rolling pin. It's the same kind of thing as you do when you rolling out pastry or whatever. So approximate, a bit rough I know, but remember you can always trim the edges off because you might get a bit of muffin top hanging over the edge of the base anyway. So like I said before, a tiny little drop of water, and you just rub that in, make sure it's relatively smooth, like so. I'll spend a couple of minutes making that nice and smooth, I think, because the only detail I want is not fingerprints, funny enough, it's off the cobbles themselves. So I'll tidy that up a little bit. Okay, and this time around we're using the cobbles. It's the same procedure as before, putting the little rubber rings on the sides so it's nice and evenly rolling. And I've actually put talcum powder on the base this time, not the rolling pin. Let's see if it makes much of a difference. So here goes. So fairly even pressure, nice and slow, and make sure that base does not move. Our survey says that is a lot better. A lot better. So probably best to put the talcum powder on the green stuff itself and look at all that detail. That's fantastic. You can see the little lines in there. This truly is a wonderful product. So the first base, talcum powder on the rolling pin, fairly good, but those cobbles are excellent. I do like the brick style though. If I was making a fantasy army, I would definitely think about using that. That's wonderful. So for the next base we have what my personal favourite is, the dark runes. Now unlike the other two, this pattern on the dark runes doesn't repeat itself very much. So you have a mystical symbol there, a very large cornate looking symbol there, eightfold path, and a nice skull symbol there. So obviously in between you've got nice little runes and little ritual markings, things like that. So what I'm going to do is get a very large base, put a lot of green stuff down. So I've got my large base here. Because this isn't a rapidly repeating pattern, I'll use a large base to see how much of that we can get on the base. I mean, these are fantastic as well for large bases, don't get me wrong, but it works very well on a small base because the pattern obviously is repeating anyway, not a problem. So same procedure as before, rings on this, talcum powder this time on the green stuff, because I'm finding that works really, really well. And we'll have a look at that pattern. Okay, so I've got some talcum powder down now on the large base, and I'm aiming for that particular symbol because I thought it looked quite like a corn symbol. So I'm going to make sure that the base does not move. Nice even pressure as before. Just keep on rolling. I'm thinking Limp Biscuit right now. Okay, so pattern hasn't come out fantastic. I can only imagine because the base is flexing quite a bit when I put pressure on. So what I'll do is I'll put more green stuff on, higher layer. But that looks pretty good. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'll put some more green stuff on and try again. Okay, so I've scraped the green stuff up and rolled it up again and reapplied it to the base further back so it's a bit thicker. But unlike these bases, which do not flex because they're quite reinforced underneath, this is hollow, so I've stuck a little something underneath so it doesn't flex quite so much. And we'll try it again. Right, so I want to go for the Chaos Star there. And I'm going to keep gentle pressure, nice and even. And let's see, that's less flex this time. A lot less flex. I'm reasonably happy with that. That's not too bad. So just keep in mind, you'll probably get a little bit of flex on larger bases like this because they're hollow. If I was doing it in the center, obviously I would build up some in the center. That's just a little bit of support. I just stuck on there, but you could use some washers or something, or pennies underneath to stop it from flexing so much. But that is so much better than the first time. So important things to remember: bases do flex. When it says you can add nothing, I would at least add talcum powder because that made a huge world of difference. But I love these rollers. These rollers are fantastic. You know, the detail on it is unbelievable. You know, and you can use them again and again. Especially this one here, you can do it in different sections, and that would save so much time. I mean, they do have green stuff, stampers for bases, but this is fantastic. You know, when it's fully gone off hard, you can trim the edges or sand it. And painting, it's not a problem because we've all painted green stuff before, no doubt. But yeah, pretty chuffed with this. Like I said, there was a little bit of flex. You can see that there was probably a thumbprint. That was totally my own fault. But no, really chuffed with this. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, I would definitely go out and buy these if you're seriously thinking about having some fancy bases. I mean, you can buy resin bases out there and that's great, but this is something, you know, it's relatively inexpensive. You can use it again and again and again. Whereas resin bases, alright, you get some fairly cheap ones out there, but Green Stuff World, seriously check them out, guys. Fantastic products out there, real easy to use, and you know, this is pretty much a no-brainer. But that's those 3 rollers done. So we've had 2 different lots of cobblestones. So we've had small bricks, cobblestones, and now we've had our dark ruins. These are amazing, guys. Seriously, even if you don't pick up these rollers, check out Green Stuff World. They've got some amazing UV instant curing resin at the moment. Unbelievable products. Really rate them. Thank you for watching. Please hit that like button. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video, guys. Cheers.